These blackout curtains. I don't even need a black background. Just have this abyss back here. What's good? How you doing? It's your girl D, back with another video. So I had a friend of mine reach out recently who was asking questions about eyeshadow application, and I told her, check my YouTube channel out. She's like, I can't find anything that just does eyeshadow. I'm like, okay, well, I will film it for you. I got you. What do you want? She said she wanted a very basic, easy to follow tutorial. So this is for you, boo. Anyhow, eyeshadow 101, I guess we could go ahead and call this. One of the other things that she mentioned is that she gets a lot of her makeup from the hair store, beauty supply store. We all do. And it's fine. And it's perfectly fine. If you want beauty supply eyeshadow, that is your prerogative, boo, and ain't nobody judging you for it. The key is to make sure that you apply it so that nobody can tell that you only paid $3 or $4 for that shadow. Plus, there's still awesome quality products out there that are completely inexpensive. Be that as it may, I was gonna rock with this because this I know has good neutral colors, but I think I'll go ahead and rock with this one. This is Maybelline The Rock Nudes. Let's go ahead and do that people's eyebrow. Bare minimum, you have to have some kind of eyeshadow primer or something to serve as an eyeshadow primer. I have a ton of eyeshadow primers. You can get away with concealer too if you want, whatever works best for you. I don't like using my concealers because my concealers are very, very thick because I'm oily and we need to absorb all of the... But I would recommend, if you're not able to find a shadow primer that you like, go ahead and just stick with any basic concealer. I think LA Girl, yes, LA Girl has good concealers. This is my color corrector, but they have good concealers, and one of the awesome things about their concealers is that they come with a brush applicator, so you can use that for multiple purposes. I am just going to go ahead and use my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer because it has a little bit of sparkle to it. Now, whenever you are applying anything on your eyes, you want to make sure that you have a gentle touch, and also you want to make sure that you're not tugging too much. One of the biggest signs of aging is right here within our eyes. You have crow's feet, bagginess, and you want to make sure that you prolong this visibility as much as you can. So if you are going to tug, and it's okay to tug in the beginning because sometimes that's the best way. This was the only way that I could apply eyeliner accurately, but as I became more adept in skincare, that's not always optimal. So just be careful with around your eyes with unnecessary pulling and tugging. I am just blending this out with my fingertip. I need to get a fill on my nails. I also need to get my brows done, but we're filming these first because I am a woman of my word and I can worry about my vanity later. Okay. I also, for you, boo, because I know you felt like your brushes weren't good enough. Now that's one thing you can go cheap on and nobody will be able to tell. I picked up this nice eye brush set from Five and Below for $5. And so this has all of the different brushes that I was telling you about. We've got a crease brush, a all over shadow lid brush. There's a detail brush in here. I'm gonna give you as basic of a look as I can get, and then also how to spruce it up some as soon as I get this motherfucker open. And this brand is called Chique, C-H-I-Q-U-E, and they have a diagram here on the back for the different brushes that they have. So there's an eye shader, a blender, the crease brush, a flat liner, which you can use if you actually use a gel eyeliner that comes in a pot, an angle liner, and then a lash brush. I'm going to be working with, we'll work with 3 of these. So first, with your crease brush typically has some type of dome shape to it, a little bit oval and extended. Here's another crease brush. You see how they are a little bit similar and how they extend like that. So with your crease brush, you want to take that first because we're going to work with the actual crease, and I'm going to zoom in here shortly. Now, the way I do my shadow looks is I start from top to bottom. Some people will start from bottom and work their way up. You do whatever is best for you. The beautiful thing about makeup is that there's no actual official rules. There's not any single person out there that has set a dictionary and reference guide for how it is that each and every single woman in the entire world should do their makeup. I am just giving best tips, practices, and suggestions from what it is that I have experienced, and you can feel free to modify and tweak it to best work for you. And at the average eyeshadow look may use 2 to 3 shades. A transitional shade, because you don't want to look like Mimi from Drew Carey. Everything has to be blended. That's one thing I can tell you. A transitional shade and then a main lid color. Those are the main 2. If you want to get fancy, then you can have a little bit of an inner corner highlight or some smoke. We'll work on that here soon. Okay, so zooming in. None of these shades have names, so I'm just going to describe them to you. I'm going in with this taupey looking shade here. I'm making that my transitional shade. I'm tapping and just getting a little bit of product on my eye, and then I am going to get a mirror first, and I'm going to go here in my crease, and I'm going to go back and forth with it. The key to blending, and that actually showed up darker than I wanted, so I'm going to switch to another color. The key to blending is making sure that you use repeated motions. And just back and forth to blend it out. What I will do is I'm actually going to show you from the bottom up on this eye. I'm going to show you from the top down on this one. I personally do not like to take my eyeshadow all the way up to the very bottom of my brow. I like to make sure that my brows are blended and looking well before I mess with eyeshadow. I'm not today. It's alright. So, yeah, this is a transitional shade up, and there we go. Now I'm going to go in with what this kit calls their shader brush, or an all-over color brush. It's usually bigger, wider, and flatter because it's intended to cover the entire eye in as few strokes as possible. Here's another one that I have too, and this one came from I think Rue 21 or something like that, but you know, whatever. So I'm going in with a kind of a purplish shade. I keep wanting to look at the mirror in that palette, but they don't have one. And I'm just going over my entire lid in gentle strokes. I'm not going any higher than where the first color was. And I'm also blending it in with the transitional shade. Okay. All right. Now, if you would like to be extravagant, you're more than welcome to take, even though this is a blender brush within this kit, I'm going to use it for the purpose of a detail. Here's my normal detail brush because it's very, very small, but it has a very fine tip. I'm going to go in with a bright shade, this sparkly one here, and I am going to put this in my inner corner area, the innermost section of my eye. I like doing this because it helps to draw attention to the eyes without being too over the top. You do not have to do that. That's just what I do with every look. And then if you want to make the look more dramatic, then you can take a darker color, darker than what it is that you used on your lid, and a crease brush, and start here on the outer corner and smoke it out. Just bring it in just a little bit on this outer V of your eye socket. And that little smoke part helps to add a little bit of dimension. If you want to have a smoky eye, if you don't, whichever. However, truth be told, the average eyeshadow look, you're good with just 2 shades. But you can see as you turn to and fro that there is a little bit of dimension. Now, one thing I can say is that I love to do my eyes first, because if I mess up, then I can just go ahead and correct it with foundation. Now, on this eye, I'm going to work from the bottom up, starting with all over color for my lid with a all over shader brush. And you see how it looks a little harsh right here, and how there's more of a gradient on this eye. That is why I say to blend. Then going in with a crease brush and a transitional shade, I'm going above and blending the two to help make that gradient in that transition softer and to help soften up any harsh lines. You don't have to pick colors this deep. I would say suit something that complements your skin tone. You know, I don't want you picking random stuff and then trying to make it work. Do what works for you first and foremost, because we're building up in baby steps. Okay. Now, that could be an okay look. That honest and truthfully could be an okay look. Just this eye by itself. Basic, smooth, 2 shadows. All I can do is add eyeliner and mascara and I'd be done. I'm just going in with my darker shade here on the outer V to add that dimension. then last but not least, going in with a little inner corner highlight. Just adding that bit of sparkle and pop right there on the very center. If you would like, this is also up to you. You can take a flat liner brush or a detail brush and extend your look to the bottom of your line, or to the bottom of your eye. That's usually as far as I like to go. But you can go underneath your lash line with that brush and shadow to complete the lash look. But yeah, so here we go. Basic eyeshadow. I'll be right back with the full look as soon as I'm done. So here is the finished look. I went ahead and added just a little bit of eyeliner. Finish my brows because we cannot come on camera looking too janky, but what do you think? Anyhow, again, for everyday makeup, you can do eyeshadow. You don't have to do eyeshadows, whatever your comfort level calls for. Especially if you are a beginner. Like, I know I kind of maybe whipped a smoky eye up a little bit on accident, just working with these eyeshadows, but you can make anything to be everything. It all depends upon what your intentions are and what you want to do. The main thing to remember is that practice makes perfect, and there is nobody out there who's perfect. Just keep practicing and you do you, boo. If you feel good and if you like it, that's essentially that's all that matters. Even with what everything it is that I've done and tried to teach, it won't matter if you don't like it. And if you like it, I love it. As always, thank you ever so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. If you have any questions or suggestions, hit your girl up in the comments section. If you are new here, please feel free to hit the subscribe button. I'd love to see you back on my channel, but if you're not here from me, my shenanigans, my opinion, or flagrant language, that's fine. There's an X in the corner for you to click and get your life and get off of my channel. But if you are here from my shenanigans, you are beautiful, amazing, wonderful, spectacular. And if no one else has told you, I appreciate you. You guys have a wonderful night.